Ladies and gentlemen, as a point of personal privilege, I would like to call on Margaret Dellinger, wife of past National Commander Daniel Dellinger, for a presentation by the First Ladies and Mike to the new First Daughter of the American Legion.
Brett, you know that I told Jessica when you started on your journey that I would support her in any way that I can, and I still mean that. Brenna, I'm giving this to you to give to the First Lady Jessica with, it's her pin and her First Lady emblem, with the best wishes of all these ladies here. And the gentlemen. And we hope very much, send her wishes that we will see her soon wearing this pin.
I will. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, you give that to your mom. Congratulations, we're with you 100%.
Thank you, Margaret. I now recognize microphone number 2.
The rules of this convention, I move that nomination for the office of National Vice Floor of this convention.
There is a motion before us that nominations for the office of National Vice Commander be made from the floor. Is there a second? This motion is non-debatable and requires a 2/3 vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Carried. We will now entertain nominations for the office of National Vice Commander from the floor. I will recognize microphone number 1.
Madam Commander, Nate Carter, Chairman of the delegation from Alaska. Madam Commander, I request that you recognize past National Commander Jimmy Foster for the purpose of nomination for the office of National Vice Commander.
The chair recognizes past National Commander Jimmy Foster.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today to nominate an individual. His name is James E. Pisa. Jim started his American Legion career in 1974 in North Collins, New York at post 1640 after he was honorably discharged from the United States Navy. He re-enlisted in the United States Coast Guard in 1976. He then transferred his membership to Ketchikan Post 3 in Alaska. Jim worked his way through the chairs and was elected as Post 3's post commander in 1988. He was then transferred to Juneau, Alaska with the Coast Guard in 1994, transferring his membership to Auk Bay Post 25, where he served as their post commander for 8 years. Jim ultimately retired from the Coast Guard in 1997 after 25 years of service of serving his country. He then moved to Anchorage in 2009, where he worked as our department service officer, transferring his membership to Susitna Valley Post 35 in Wasilla. No, he cannot see Russia from Wasilla. He was elected National Executive Committeeman for the Department of Alaska in 2010 and is still serving in that position today. I know him personally that he'll be a great asset to the leader of the American Legion next year as I watched his work and performance as he served as my campaign manager for Team Alaska, ultimately having to serve as my aide for 6 weeks when my aged wife passed away. As a duly registered delegate to this national convention, it is with honor and pride that I place the name of James E. Jim Pisa into nomination for the position of National Vice Commander of the American Legion for the year 2018-2019. Thank you.
The chair recognizes microphone number 2.
Madam Commander, Ed DeGumbia, Chairman of the Delegation from Connecticut. Madam Commander, I request that you recognize Sandra Spitaleri for purposes of nomination for National Vice Commander.
The chair recognizes Sandra Spitaleri.
Madam Commander, National Adjutant Wheeler, past national commanders, distinguished guests, and fellow delegates. I am Sandra Spitaleri, past commander of the Lebanon American Legion, Post 180, and delegate to this convention from the Department of Connecticut. It is my honor and privilege to come before you today to place into nomination for National Vice Commander a dedicated and highly motivated Legionnaire, Paul Spitaleri. Paul earned his membership eligibility by serving over 21 years in the United States Navy, joining at the age of 17 and retiring in 2002 with the rank of Chief Petty Officer. Paul joined the American Legion in 2005 and has been actively involved ever since. Paul has held many offices and earned numerous accolades during his 14-year American Legion career, including Post Commander, District Commander, and Department Commander. Paul was a 100% Post Commander and 100% District Commander who also earned District Commander of the Year for 2 consecutive years. He is a graduate of the National American Legion College, class of 2011. On the national level, Paul served as a member on the Americanism Council and as a member of the Veterans Employment, Education, and Homeless Committee. In his civilian career, Paul is the Assistant Tax Collector for the town of Lebanon and the Municipal Veterans Representative assisting fellow veterans on their respective benefits. Our candidate is a people person, visionary, and a leader. As a leader, he epitomizes what author John Maxwell declares a leader to be. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Paul is hands-on and all in, dedicated to the ideals and beliefs that are the core of the American Legion. Comrades, this agent of change that motivated, dedicated Legionnaire is Paul Spitaleri. Therefore, as a duly elected delegate to this convention from the Department of Connecticut, I am honored to nominate him to serve as our candidate for National Vice Commander for 2018-2019. I encourage and charge you to cast your vote in support of your fellow Legionnaire and my husband, Paul Spitaleri. Thank you, and go Team 100!
Microphone number 1.
Madam Commander, David Johnson, Chairman of the Delegation from Maryland. Madam Commander, I request that you recognize Charles Gannon for the purpose of nomination for the office of National Vice Commander.
The chair recognizes Charles Gannon.
Hell to be short sometimes. Commander, Adjutant, Reverend clergy, and other officers on the dais, delegates and guests. I stand to nominate a Legionnaire who has the experience and possesses the attributes that will help him serve as National Vice Commander. A Legionnaire who will serve as a great ambassador as we celebrate the end of 100 years of making a difference and open a path to the next century of service to God and country, and strengthen the 4 pillars to meet the needs of the current and future generations. John F. Jack Milburn has been an active part of that service for 52 years. Upon completion of naval service during the Vietnam era, he joined Parkville American Legion Post 183 in the community which he grew up in and lives today. During the past 52 years, he has served in many capacities as an officer, chairman, committee member, and just that volunteer that does what needs to be done. Jack served as commander of Post 183 in 1990 to 1992. At that time, Parkville Post 183 was one of the king-size posts in the country with over 4,500 members. Always looking for an opportunity for more responsibility, Jack has served as commander within the county and district. In 2001-2002, for him, a year of distinction. Under his leadership, the Department of Maryland achieved 100% in membership and moved many programs to new heights in communities throughout our state. Serving as alternate and then as National Executive Committee, as well as being a member of many committees and councils for 27 years. Jack does have another life, a 54-year marriage to wife Peg. All 3 children and 5 grandchildren are members of the Legion family. And oh, we must not forget that young great-grandchild. Jack is well prepared and ready to serve as National Vice Commander and continue to build on that Legion spirit of daring to care. As a duly elected delegate to this convention, I am honored to nominate John F. Jack Milburn for the office of National Vice Commander. Thank you.
The chair recognizes microphone number 2.
Madam Commander, Brett Holt, Chairman of the Delegation of Michigan. Madam Commander, I request that you recognize John Mella for the purpose of nominations for the office of National Vice Commander.
The chair recognizes John Mella.
Madam Commander and fellow delegates of the 100th National Convention of the American Legion, good morning. It is a great honor to be able to place the name of a candidate for the high office of National Vice Commander, James Jim E. Wallace. Jim's eligibility to belong to the American Legion comes from his service in the United States Army during the Vietnam War era. Jim is a 47-year member of Pinkley Memorial Post 419 in Pinkley, Michigan. He has demonstrated his ability to lead by holding chairs in the post, district, and department levels. He is a 2012 graduate of the National American Legion College. In 2014, he represented Michigan after being elected department commander. His service to the American Legion has included committeeman on both the Americanism and the National Security Councils. Jim retired from the City of Ann Arbor Fire Department as an assistant chief after 30 years with the fire service, graduating with a degree in fire science and attending the Eastern Michigan University Fire Staff and Command School. In his community, he has served on the Putnam Township Board of Review for 18 years, past commander for the Livingston County Veterans Council, charter member of the American Legion Riders, Chapter 419, and a charter representative for Boy Scout Troop 312, sponsored by his post. Jim and his wife, Linda, have been married for 51 years. They have 2 daughters, 1 son, and a daughter-in-law, and 5 grandchildren, who are all members of the American Legion family. Jim has the full support from the Department of Michigan, and as a delegate to this convention, I nominate James Jim E. Wallace for the high office of National Vice Commander. Thank you.
Chair recognizes microphone number 1.
Madam Commander, Ray Barrett, Chairman of Delegation from Mississippi. Madam Commander, I request that you recognize past National Commander Robert Turner for the purpose of nomination for the office of National Vice Commander.
The chair recognizes past National Commander Robert Turner.
As a duly authorized delegate to this convention, I rise to place a nomination for National Vice Commander Steve Sweet from the Department of Mississippi. A United States Navy veteran, Steve served from 1966 to 1970, earning his eligibility for membership in the American Legion by his service in Vietnam. Steve served his last 3 years as a flight deck troubleshooter with Attack Squadron 94. Having been a Legion member now for 46 years, Steve has held every office at his post, district, and in the Department of Mississippi, serving as Department Commander for 2009. At the present time, he's serving his 3rd term as the alternate NEC man. His father, Al Sweet, was a Legion member, having served aboard the USS Enterprise CV-6 in World War II. His father-in-law, J.M. Gailey, also a Legion member, and landed in the first wave on D-Day. These were the kind of men that inspired Steve to become active in the American Legion. He comes from a Legion family. His wife, the former Ruthie Cayley, is a member of the auxiliary, as is his daughter and 2 granddaughters. His son, son-in-law, and grandson are all members of the American Legion Sons. An active hunter and fisherman, Steve also enjoys taking trips on his Harley and riding with the Legion Riders in the Patriot Guard. This year, he made his 7th trip in the American Legion Legacy Run. Having said this, it is my honor to place a nomination for National Vice Commander, Mr. Sweet for all of us, Steve Sweet from the Department of Mississippi.
I now recognize microphone number 2.
Madam Commander, Michael Westergren, delegate from the Department of Arkansas. Madam Commander, I move that the nominations for the office of National Vice Commander be closed.
We have a motion that nominations for the office of National Vice Commander be closed. There has been a second. The motion is non-debatable and requires a 2/3 vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. The chair recognizes microphone number 1.
Madam Commander, Desiree Guerra, delegate from Colorado. Madam Commander, I move that the National Adjutant be authorized to cast 1 vote for the entire delegate strength of this convention, and that James Pisa, Paul Spedalari, John Milburn, James Wallace, and James Steve Sweet be elected National Vice Commanders by acclamation.
We have a motion that the National Adjutant be authorized to cast 1 vote for the entire delegation strength of this convention, and that James Pisa, Paul Spedalari, John Milburn, James Wallace, and James Steve Sweet be elected National Vice Commanders by acclamation. There is a second. The motion is non-debatable and requires a 2/3 vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. I now call on the National Adjutant.
National Commander, as National Adjutant for the American Legion, I cast 1 vote representing the entire delegate strength of this convention for James Pisa, Paul Spedalari, John Milburn, James Wallace, and James Steve Sweet for the offices of National Vice Commander of the American Legion.
Will the new National Vice Commanders come to the platform for introduction? Ladies and gentlemen, James Pisa, Paul Spitaleri, John Milburn, James Wallace, and James Steve Sweet. At this time, I am honored to swear you into your newly elected offices as National Vice Commander. I know you uphold the trust that has been placed in you by the comrades who have nominated and supported you and the convention delegates that elected you. I trust you will fulfill every obligation that is required of you. I challenge you to familiarize yourself with the duties of your office and carry them out with the same spirit of which arose the American Legion. The welfare, success, and integrity of our great organization depends on you as you travel in the departments and throughout this country, promoting the mandates of the American Legion as approved by the National Convention and the National Executive Committee. It is your duty to protect the good name of the American Legion with the people of our great nation that you meet and as you travel. Help them to know the Legion's purpose and our policies. Remember the 4 pillars that motivate us as members to serve this nation. As you serve, always remember that there is no rank, for we all served as equals. We are all aimed for the same goals, the ideals of justice, freedom, democracy, and loyalty. This means you should always employ the cardinal principles of the American Legion to all of those that we serve. The rehabilitation of our disabled veterans and the care of those who now suffer from wound, disease, and want, to include the care of their family members, the education of our children, educating citizens on the ideals of true Americanism, and maintaining a strong national defense. In your travels, representing the American Legion, always practice these 4 pillars in your promotion of service in the community, state, and nation. Will you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I state your name. Do solemnly pledge myself to perform faithfully and impartially the duties of the office of the American Legion I am about to assume. And I further pledge myself I will uphold the principles outlined in the National Constitution and the preamble of the American Legion in service to our veterans and their families, their communities, state, and nation. Congratulations to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for our newly elected National Vice Commanders. Congratulations to all of you once again, and I now call on past National Commander Thomas L. Bach of Colorado to present the colors to our incoming National Commander.
Thank you, Commander Rowan. Commander-elect Reistad, will you join me at the lectern? Legionnaires and distinguished guests, please rise for the presentation of our national colors by the Color Guard of Newport Harbor, Post 291, Newport Beach, California, to the National Commander-elect. Color Guard, present the colors of the new National Commander of the American Legion.
Color guard, forward, march.
Hands salute.
Detail, halt, left, face. Present, colors. Ready, two.
Two. You can listen to this?
Absolutely, sir.
Brett, you stand before this convention having received a unanimous vote of endorsement from all of the delegates. Your ability to represent not only Legionnaires, but also America's veterans in the centennial year of this great organization. As a veteran, I know you are up to the challenge. We served together about 15 years ago. I've seen your performance, and you have the skills and the ability to lead the American Legion. There's no however, but I know, and I know the delegates know that you have all the capabilities to lead the American Legion. You have served the public as a leader in law enforcement, and now you have the opportunity to lead the veterans of this great country and our organization. Your election was earned through hard work and determination, just like your predecessors. May the colors that we present you today inspire you and motivate you throughout this next year to do great things. Color Guard, return the colors of the National Commander of the American Legion to post. Hand salute.
Right, face. Forward, march.
Two.
Now I believe it's my turn.
You can take your best shot.
We just went like four pages. This is an exciting time for any national convention. We have elected our new national commander and look forward to an exciting and historic time of growth and community involvement. This is also an exciting time for the American Legion Auxiliary, who elected a new president as this important point as an important part of our national American Legion family. She's also posed to meet the needs of veterans and their loved ones. The woman chosen to lead the American Legion Auxiliary has worked many years for veterans and their families. She served as the organization's national vice president and has been a member of the American Legion Auxiliary for 40 years. Eligible for auxiliary membership through her father, World War II veteran Whitty Card, and her husband, William, she has served the American Legion Auxiliary at every level. She is a proud member of ALA Unit 79 in Wesson, Mississippi. She retired as a judicial assistant with the Mississippi Supreme Court after more than 20 years, and now she is ready to assume the top leadership position of the nation's largest patriotic women's organization. Please give a warm welcome to the National President of the American Legion Auxiliary, Kathy Dungan.
Good morning. Wow, I'm so excited about this year. I bring greetings from the members of the American Legion Auxiliary, and I want to personally thank you for electing your national commander, Brett Rosted. What an honor and a privilege it is to have the opportunity of working with him hand in hand as we serve our veterans, active duty military, and their families, and our children and youth. Brett, I offer you my sincerest congratulations to you on your election to the highest office of the American Legion, and I offer the support of all dedicated members of the American Legion Auxiliary. And I wish you a very successful and rewarding year and look forward to seeing you as our paths cross from time to time during our travels. God bless you all. Thank you.
The man chosen to lead the Sons of the American Legion is the son of a World War II combat Marine. His father fought in Iwo Jima, among other locations. Our new son commander is also the brother of a Vietnam War veteran. He has served in the Sons of the American Legion for more than 19 years and was awarded a life membership in Squadron 527 near Buffalo, New York. He's a tenured university professor and holds a PhD in administration from the University of Buffalo. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the National Commander of the Sons of the American Legion, Greg Doc Gibbs.
Commander, members of the dais, Adjutant Wheeler, Legion family and guests, good morning. I bring you greetings from our 365,000 plus members of the Sons of the American Legion. I would like to share this morning a little bit about what we said to our gathering the past few days, just so you know where your Sons of the American Legion stand this year and where we're headed under the guidance of your new commander, Brett Rystad, myself, and our auxiliary president, Kathy. But before I begin that, you know that when you get to the high level of national commander, your state emblem disappears from the front of your cap. Well, I'm not going to be able to safely leave Minnesota unless I acknowledge New York. Just a quick shout out to New York. But we as Sons are indeed proud possessors of a priceless heritage. That's what we're about. That's what it states in our preamble to our Constitution. We need to be ever diligent to continue the tradition and the honor that's assigned with that responsibility. Just as you heard, my eligibility comes from my father, who served the United States Marine Corps during World War II. Although he's no longer with us, he travels with me all the time during our American Legion events. My father served along with his two brothers, joining the United States Marines the Monday directly after the Pearl Harbor attack, as his enlistment papers verify. What has impressed me the most over the years with my father is that he very rarely spoke of his experiences. Even when prompted, he would change the subject. It was obvious that the memories of the painful incidences remained fresh many years later. And it appeared to me that his efforts were to shield us from the horrors of war, as my brother and I grew up in relative peace. Well, we as a Sons organization strive to keep that sacrifice known and honored. It is our legacy as Sons of those who serve to continue to keep people aware of that level of sacrifice, that hardship that all families face when their loved ones are in harm's way, so far from home. That is why we have chosen the phrase, honoring the past, continuing the legacy, as our motto for this upcoming year, which we feel aligns very well with the National Commander. Keeping memories alive as well as attending to the needs of our current active military and their families is a huge part of our mission. We ask that the sons embrace their heritage. We, as sons, are the legacy of a family serving their country. Whether it be World War I, II, Korea, Vietnam, or all the conflicts that have followed, we have all shared in that sacrifice and in that commitment to not only protect our United States, but to help keep the world free from tyranny and oppression. World War I, the last war, the war to end all wars, was not. War seems to be an inevitable element of human interaction. Here, we are commemorating 100 years from that war, and we still have global strife. Our organization can continue to strengthen to help and aid those that are willing to pay the ultimate sacrifice for all of us. We have a continuing purpose. Let us be vigilant in maintaining our organizational strength so that we may fulfill that mission. Thank you for the opportunity to speak before you today. I wish you all a successful convention as we begin to celebrate 100 years of service. And we, as the Sons of the American Legion, are very proud to be an active part of Team 100. God bless us all. God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Hang around a minute, Doc.
Okay. Can I just set this down?
Sure, that works. Doc is staying on stage, and I would ask National Commander Rystad and National President Duncan to please join us also. Ladies and gentlemen, National Commander Rystad, National President Duncan, and Sons of the American Legion, I think we want you closer up here. Our dynamic leadership team for the upcoming year, your American Legion family leaders. Congratulations. I now call on National Adjutant Wheeler for some announcements.
Very shortly, the stage of the convention will be prepared for our next guest. I ask you in the meanwhile to limit your